Fellas, the next time you get hot and heavy with your lady, whatever you do, make sure you check for an ice pick.
Covenant, you're calling Raven.
Payback time.
Come with me if you want to live. You just don't turn it off!
The mysterious Catherine Trammell, a beautiful crime novelist, becomes a suspect when she is linked to the brutal death of a rock star, investigated by homicide detective Nick Curran. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason, and you're watching Backtrack Cinema, where we talk movies of the past that you know and love. And welcome to my review of Basic Instinct. I mean, how many times, guys, did I sneak this videotape into my room at 13 years old? How many? Too many to fucking count. That's all I'm going to say about that. Basic Instinct is your early 90s mystery, erotic thriller. And one of the best as far as I'm concerned. I don't really know how the general movie-going audience feels about this movie, but I liked it. But there was a lot of taboo when it came out when I was growing up. There's a lot of controversy with the movie. It was hyped up as, you know, this erotic thriller that, you know, they show everything in it. They're pulling no punches. And to today's standards, it's pretty lame in that regard. Everybody at school was talking about this. I wasn't allowed to watch it. I was 13 years old at the time, 12, 13. And so I had to sneak down to my video collection, and I would just pick it up, take it to my room after everyone went to bed. Why am I not allowed to watch it? I'm allowed to watch blood. I'm allowed to watch guts, all that kind of stuff. Why can't I watch this one? And, you know, I mean, I've been a Sharon Stone fan ever since, not just because she bears it all. She's a great actress. You saw her in things in the 80s. She was a struggling actress. I remember seeing, you know, Alan Quarterman in Lost City of Gold. Above the Law with Seagal. She was in a Police Academy movie, and she gets this breakthrough role in Total Recall, also directed by Paul Verhoven. Then she launches her career with Basic Instinct, and what she had to do to make this film with Basic Instinct, and I don't think she got paid a lot for what she had to do in this movie. She's fantastic in it. Now, if you're into these mystery thrillers, if you're into the erotic mystery thrillers, I think you'll really like this one, depending how you like your mystery to go, because this is actually a pretty ambiguous movie. It's really putting you in the driver's seat of this detective, Michael Douglas, Nick Curran, how he doesn't got this woman all figured out, and we don't have everything figured out. Everything's very ambiguous, and when you do get the answers, it's still kind of ambiguous. So you may not like it for that until that last shot in the movie where it comes down and you see the ice pick. We'll talk about this. It's still kind of ambiguous. There's even several theories about who the killer is. For me, we'll get more into it, but Sharon Stone, Catherine Trammell, was the killer the whole time. And just the way she manipulates and the way she set everybody up, and she really is blonde poison, femme fatale, all that kind of stuff. So if you love Basic Instinct, hit me up in the comments below. Tell me what you think of it. We'll have a great conversation. And if you haven't seen it, I suggest you go see it. Come back to this review and we'll talk about it. I don't put spoiler cards up, guys. I talk old movies. If you haven't seen them yet, you know, I think it's pretty common sense just to go watch it and then come back for this review, because I'd love to see you in the conversations that we have on Backtrack Cinema for sure. So Basic Instinct was released in 1992, directed by Paul Verhoven, and starring Sharon Stone, Michael Douglas, Jeanne Tripplehorn, and George Dzundza. The movie starts off with this brutal murder of a rock star. They're having sex and everything. She pulls out an ice pick, kills him brutally, which the makeup effects were all done by Rob Bottin. Excellent job, you know, from The Thing, Total Recall. He did RoboCop, some of RoboCop, so excellent guy to put in that. This is the catalyst that gets everything going. And this rock star had a girlfriend, which is Catherine Trammell, and that's how she's linked to this murder. She really is the best part of this movie. Sharon Stone delivers a fantastic performance, a great character, an iconic character, one of the greatest female villains of all time. And it's really interesting that, you know, I was watching behind the scenes. I think I watched this on the commentary of Basic Instinct, where, you know, Paul Verhoeven's, the first day of shooting with Sharon was the scene where Nick, like Michael Douglas, first meets her. She didn't really have a handle on her character yet. It really wasn't there on the first day of shooting. And so she went back, she reset herself as an actress. And Paul Verhoeven said when she come back the next day, she was Catherine Trammell. She was the character. That is a good actress. someone who is struggling to get a grasp of the character comes back and just, nails it out of the park. It's just her, she manipulates her confidence, the way she weaves these webs everywhere. She keeps telling Nick, here, you want a cigarette? And he goes, no, I quit. And she's like, it won't last long. She's constantly, seducing people all the time, manipulating lies. You never know when to trust her, when not to trust her. Like there's some moments in the movie, she feels very genuine. Then other times it's just like, you could clearly tell this freaking bitch is lying. You know what I mean? But the way she projects all that is absolutely terrific. There's that great interrogation scene where they bring Catherine Trammell in, and it's just awesome. Like, keep in mind, they put her in the center of her room. I love the cool lighting, the shadow of the shades and everywhere. The camera work is absolutely fantastic. These are a bunch of cops, the defense attorney, all these people surrounding her. And, a normal woman and everything would just be completely intimidated. She completely controls the room. She sits down, she starts taking her jacket off, lighting a cigarette, and just the way she's looking at them and, playing them all is absolutely brilliant, this scene. She's so brass and just so shocking the way she talks. Like, I just love when she says, she's sitting there flicking a cigarette and she's just like,
have you ever fucked on cocaine, Nick? It's nice.
The way Sharon says it, though, is absolutely amazing. That's Catherine speaking. That's not Sharon speaking. You know what I mean? The way she's glancing at them, and they're all kind of getting pulled in. Nick Curran's getting pulled in. Michael Douglas, for sure. He's trying to fight it, but the way she's manipulating. But Gus, his buddy, his partner, he's not buying it all. He just kind of sits there and he goes, that's awfully cold, lady. You know what I'm saying? So just the way she controls it, and then she just starts getting fucking bored to tears, and she's just sitting there playing with her lighter. And the famous crossing the leg scene, that scene would have played out the exact same. That scene didn't even need that part, because she sells her sexuality so well just with her eyes and her body language. You know what I mean? This whole themes of basic instinct, like obsession, seduction, power. There's a real power dynamic between Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone through this whole movie. She's just seducing him. She's using him just to get a story because she's a crime novelist. She wants to write a character called Shooter, calls him Shooter through the whole thing. And she knows he's weak. This guy is troubled as it is. This guy got too close to the flame, as she said. He's dabbling in the darkness a bit. So if I could set the scene for you about his backstory a bit, is that he was undercover and he ended up shooting these innocent tourists while he's undercover. He got hooked on alcohol. He got hooked on cocaine. He was really in a freaking dark spot, but he liked it. And then Sharon Stone's character knows he liked it. And he goes, that's why your wife killed herself, didn't she? So this dude's weak is that he gives into all these temptations. Like, he starts smoking again, drinking again. He just wants her. He can't stop thinking about her. This guy wants all the pleasures in life because he has nothing else. His only light at the tunnel really is this friendship he has with his partner Gus. And Gus does try to help him throughout this film, but he gets seduced bad. He's weak. Honestly, he's weak. And to me, he's a tragic character because at the end of the film, he doesn't even realize it's her at the end of the film. And if he does, he's so seduced by her that he doesn't even care. You know what I mean? With that final shot coming down and say, oh, it was her the whole time. The ice pick's there. Why would she have an ice pick under her bed and all that kind of stuff? So Nick, I really like the broken cop. I really like how he lost kind of everything. But that's what it's so sad too, because this guy's just giving in to everything, even though he knows not to trust this woman. It's seduction and power. And talk about power. That famous sex scene we get in the middle of the movie, where they don't hold back. They're completely naked. Michael Douglas, Sharon Stone. It is a great scene, but it's not a great scene just because it's a sex scene and you see nudity and all that. It's how they're both fighting for power. She's trying to get control and he's trying to get control, and then she starts becoming more dominant, ties him up and everything. And then you see her reaching for the ice pick and goes, is she going to kill him? But he's in such a state of fucking pleasure, right? That it's so exciting to watch at the same time. Of course, she doesn't kill him there yet, right? You know what I mean? It was just that whole exciting, it was daring. And the way Jerry Goldsmith, his score, the way he built the suspense in that scene and everything like that, the lighting and everything, lighting is absolutely beautiful in a lot of these scenes where you see Sharon's skin and the light, the lighting of the characters, everything. And it's not the way it looks like in fucking real life, but it looks gorgeous. And I saw this movie way before I saw Vertigo. Like I only saw Vertigo the first time a couple years ago. So when I saw Vertigo, I was like, man, this is Basic. I completely see where Basic Instinct was drawing from. Paul Verhoven, he's a great director playing in Hitchcock's sandbox, and he plays in it so well. You know what I mean? Like Kim Novak is pretty much, or Sharon Stone, I should say, is pretty much Kim Novak. You know what I mean? This is just a more erotic, sexual flick. You know what I mean? And I do prefer Basic Instinct over Vertigo. I know that's probably like kidding me. I mean, Vertigo is awesome. I liked Vertigo. I just didn't think it was as great as people say it is. But yeah, these two characters, the obsession, power, seduction, all great themes for a mystery thriller. And the person they really pinned it on is Beth Gardner, I think her name is, played by Jeanne Tripplehorn, who is, Michael Douglas's love interest, kind of. She's a psychologist who's helping Michael Douglas out. And somehow Sharon Stone pins everything on her to make her look like the villain, make it look like she did everything, planting shit in her apartment. That's my theory anyway. Like I said, the movie is very ambiguous in everything. This is not like spelt out for you. It's just that's what I get out of it. And she's a good character and everything. And there's moments where, her and Michael Douglas, he's just pissing her off and she just looks like she's going to go psycho on him. And right there, they're like pointing fingers at, oh man, I don't think she's totally there. You know what I mean? But another good performance by her. And I like Michael Douglas's buddy Gus in it. He's the voice of reason through this whole film. He doesn't play into Catherine Tramel's games. He knows she's using her sexuality to seduce his partner, to orchestrate, manipulate things. He sees right through her because he doesn't fall for any of that. He's like a straight up guy, kind of, you know what I mean? And he has some of the more comedic moments in the film where Michael Douglas, he knows that he slept with Catherine Tramell. He goes, "Are you fucking crazy sleeping with that freaking bitch? What's the matter with you, freaking?" I just always loved all that comedic part with the character of Gus. Now, I have touched on the cinematography and the music a little bit, but the cinematography is just excellent in here. I've talked about how great the lighting is, how they light the characters, beautiful and everything like that. But the camera placement, the movement of the camera, especially in the interrogation scene, when you're supposed to be paying attention to something Sharon's saying or something the cops are saying, push up on their face and really fast. And then whenever she's talking to the detective, I just like the quick movements of the camera everywhere in that scene and the lighting everywhere. There's some cool car chases that we get in this movie. In San Francisco being the backdrop of everything where it takes place. Been to San Francisco. My cousin, I remember showing me where Basic Instinct was filmed, showing me the houses and everything, the hills and everything like that. It's just it's a beautiful place for a detective movie. It really is. And Paul Verhoeven using these nice, really crane wide shots, pushing in on the cars and then going really low with the car chases and everything. So I just really love the cinematography. Jerry Goldsmith, I've been calling him the action maestro. He really is. What a score he puts in here. He really is the heart of the film, the suspense of the film, the thrills of the film come from him. When he goes for the suspense, he really creates something very special. The strings and everything like that. And when it's really subtle, you know what I mean? Like when they're making love and that sex scene and everything like that, he's really subtle and he builds it and builds it and builds it and builds it. And it's absolutely terrific. He did a great job doing this score. So Basic Instinct is excellent, guys. I've always really enjoyed this one. If you like mystery, erotic thriller, like put it on for Valentine's, watch it with your wife. Why not, guys? Why not? I do. But Sharon Stone putting this movie on her back and carrying this whole thing. Would love to see her come back and just, not even her own movie, just seeing that character in another crime movie or something like that. You know what I mean? So it really works because of her. And I think it had to. So outstanding job. I'm going to give Basic Instinct from 1992 a solid B. Well, what are you guys? Let me know in the comments below what you think of Basic Instinct. We'll have a great conversation about Basic Instinct. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. It does a lot. It really builds the channel. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you stay to the end for the end card, and I'll put related content there so you can go down the rabbit hole, watch reviews, rankings, all that jazz on the channel. Have fun on the channel. That's what it's all about. Us talking about movies. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema. I will see you next time, and I will see you in the movies. Cheers.